I wonder if it's a continuation of the last one. It says recordings in progress. It usually says recording on the cloud. Anyway, doesn't matter. I think it's recording. So that's good. All right, let me make my water, my coffee. All right, so this last one was so fun. It's the scene. This is interesting. Let me zoom in and let me make sure everybody's got their color pencils. We're going to learn how to do crosses. We're going to do a mount. We're going to do this hill. We're going to do the inside of the tomb. We're going to do like a sun with like radiating light. And it should be pretty good. I'm zoomed out. So let me zoom in and we will go to town on this thing. All right. I sketched it in the last class. Don't get intimidated, but this was my pencil sketch, but it doesn't have any colors. So I want to do like a colored version this time, and I think we'll be good. The way that we started off with very simple shapes, like basically a vertical for the cross and then a horizontal. And then once you build that main cross, then you can you just build out from there, and it's actually easy. So we're going to start from just the cross, which is a vertical and a horizontal on a hill. So that's like the very foundation. And then we'll do the sun that's behind it, which could be really colorful. And we'll do the two smaller crosses or whatever. And then there's distant mountains. Then there's a field of grass, which we can have like really beautiful ranges of orange and yellow and green all together in the lawn. We'll see. I think this is like I don't know if you guys have heard this story recently, but then when Christ comes out of the, then when like the disciples go, they go to the tomb and they find that like the stone has been removed and like Jesus is not there, like the body is not there. So this is an interesting kind of component, because this is like a view from inside the tomb, like looking out. So you have like the steps of the tomb, and then you're looking out and there's like the crosses from from basically the day before. Anyway, it's interesting. It's like, and then obviously you have like the cross that Christ died for our sins, and so it's the symbol of that sacrifice, and it's great. So it's really powerful symbolism, but it's also a really nice composition. So we'll build the crosses, but I got to get my colors ready. So I'm probably going to start with brown because that's the color of the wood. And we're going to start with the main cross. I'm probably going to draw it a little bit bigger. That's what happened last time. And here's my color set. Do you guys have a lot of colors? I have there's so many colors on here. It's out of control. Not out of control. It's actually makes me very happy. Okay, so let me select my colors. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we need some yellows. I'm looking at the sun, so I'm gonna choose some. Ooh, there's a yellow green. There's a yellow green. I might use that for my grass. Here's a green, or this is a yellow rather, but it's more of like a lemon yellow, but I might use that for the background.
I have a color pencil and it's called grass green.
Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. That's like having a pencil that's like wood brown. If you could find your color pencil called wood, that would be awesome. What's that? Raisin? This one's called Raisin Noir. I might try that. Oh, that might be a little too dark, but I like the name of it. I'm gonna need probably an orange for it looks like the tomb is like, a lot of orange colors for like a nice light sandstone. There's another, that might be the right color right there. Oh yeah, it's like a yellowish orange. I'll put this other one back. Yeah, here's a bright yellow. And I need a slightly darker, these are in the field down here, but there's definitely a darker green. Wait, should I look for grass green? Let me see if I can actually find, I think there might be a grass green in here. apple green. There's apple green. There's Kelly green. There's lamp green. I like the apple green. Maybe I'll move the apple green in here too. Grass green. I found it. Whoa. Okay, so just like quick setup. It looks like I've got 3 greens. It looks like I've got 3 yellows. Oh my gosh. 3 greens, 3 yellows, and then maybe, and I have 2 browns. Looks like maybe, do I need a little red? Well, it looks like I need a purple for the cloth on the, definitely need a purple. Okay, let me find a good purple. What's this one called? It doesn't say, but it looks pretty purple to me. It's like a reddish purple. Do a reddish purple and then maybe a grape purple, 2 purples. So I had a teacher who, when he was selecting his colors, he would say, this was like in reference to painting, he would say, mix slowly so you can paint quickly. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm picking out my colors. So I have the colors and then I can, then I'm kind of like free to draw. I don't have to like keep searching for colors. So I have 2 browns. I've got, there's a little bit of red over here. I think everything needs a little bit of red. So I'm going to should I use a red orange? It's not quite dark enough. Maybe this red. I can mix this red in. What's this say? It's called poppy red. Beautiful. Okay. There are my colors. Everybody's colors are different. You can't even, and that's the other hard part about using a screen like this. Like, what, depending on the settings on your computer screen, that will change the colors. So I'll have certain colors, but you're never going to be able to match them perfectly. So just do your best and do what you think looks good. That's my philosophy. Because everybody's pictures are going to be a little bit different, and that's good. There's barely any blue in this picture, which I think is interesting. Got a lot of colors. The closest thing to blue I think we get is the purple. There's no blue in the sky or anything. It's kind of cool. These colors back.
Maybe the background was a sunset.
I know, that's what I thought too. And then we can talk about that actually. I might have to mute it in a second because one of these yellows, I'm gonna have to sharpen the pencil. So please remind, I'll try not to forget to turn off I'm gonna mute it for a second. It can be really loud when you mute it or unmute it, whatever.
My pencil sharpener is really loud.
We'll do it. Can we hear it? Oh, you're on mute still.
I don't think I have any pencils I need to sharpen.
Okay, well, if that happens, we'll check it out. So what was I was just thinking about something. I don't know. I think we're ready to go. All right. So I use this for like Easter card. So this is an actual greeting card. So if you look inside, what's it say? Every dawn tells of his resurrection, and every sunset proclaims his glory. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It's like, is it a sunrise or a sunset? May your spirit rejoice and your heart be glad as you celebrate the resurrection of our Lord. Have a happy Easter. It's interesting. See how there's like in this card, it even has a frame. And then in the front, the tomb makes a frame. So that's kind of cool. So there's like the tomb is a frame in here, and then they actually, repeat that by just making this kind of generic wooden frame around the thing. So I guess this is where you can write a note and then you can sign it down here. American greetings. I've been recently getting into like buying cards for people. I'm not very good at writing letters because I'm dyslexic and it's hard for me, but I also like to communicate with people through the mail. It's like really when you get mail, it feels really good. And I love sending stuff. So cards are an easy way. So I don't have to write a whole lot. The thing's already written for me and I just get to pick a card that works. Okay, so yeah, that was the question this morning. It was like, is this a sunrise or is it a sunset? And I guess we kind of all decided before we read the card. We didn't even read the card this morning, but I guess we decided that it was essentially a sunrise because, that's when they discovered the tomb. That's when they discovered that the rock had been moved away. So if the rock is moved away, and that cloth is laid up there, everyone's gone. So it's probably the next day. But, if you read the card, every dawn tells of his resurrection, every sunset proclaims his glory. So you can make it a sunset or a sunrise. I guess it's like both things working at once. All right, here we go. All right, let's start with the cross that's in the middle. And you'd want to start towards the middle of your page. So this is like the middle of my page right here. So I'm gonna start with a very thin line. The reason I want to make this line kind of thin and light is because we have to put the cloth on there. Let me zoom in on it. So the cross in one sense is kind of easy because it's just a vertical line and a horizontal line, but you want to leave it light so that we can put the purple cloth draped over it. And then we'll fill the cross in. We'll like color the cross in. So we'll make it just light at first, put the drape on there, and then we'll color it in dark. So does that make sense? So let me try this. So I'm going to first start with a long vertical rectangle. That's going to be the cross that's in the ground. So this is a long vertical rectangle. And that is in the ground. And in a weird way, we could even like, I've got this grass, I got this green. We could even put like the hill in there because the cross is at the top of the hill, the apex of the hill, but the other crosses are actually behind it. So we're going to build the other crosses behind that hill. So if we do the vertical and then we do the grass hill, that works. And then we're going to do the crossbar. And you can make your cross huge, or you can make it smaller, or you can make it teeny. Some of the kids did there was every version of it. There was huge crosses, there were small crosses, there was medium-sized crosses. Okay, so this is a very simple two-dimensional shape, and I just made it light so that I can put the cloth on it. Now, you think the cloth might be hard to draw, but you want to think about the letter U, and you can just draw like the block letter U. And it's gonna come down and it comes up and it drapes over the other side. So watch how you can show that it's resting on the top of the cross, and then the fabric falls down behind it. Fabric, the U shape is in the front, and then it comes up and it rests on the top, and then the back of it drapes down. And it's purple because Christ is King. Even though it wasn't meant to be the nicest message of all time, it actually is so true. Well, it is the truth. And it's happening. Okay, so I was able to draw that purple cloth and I can color it in if I want. The nice thing about it is now you know what you need to fill in for the wood. I'm using dark umber, dark brown. I'm gonna add, I can color that in, draw dark outlines. I don't want to fill it in completely dark because if you look at the picture, it's like, looks like it's got some orange in there. The wonderful thing about colored pencils, which I have only recently fully appreciated, is how you can mix colored pencils. So, I used to think because you can't mix like 5 colors together. I mean, I guess you can, but the paper winds up getting like really smooth. But you can mix 2 colors, you can mix 3 colors, you could probably even mix 4 colors. And paint, you can mix every color, you can just keep mixing and mixing and mixing. But colored pencils do mix really well when you just go basic. So I'm just mixing the brown and an orange together to color in that cross.
My brown has like a little orange in it.
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of orange coming from the sun. The sun is like, shining on the top of the grass. So you don't think to mix orange and green together very often, but here we go. And they don't actually have to mix. You can just like put some parts that are orange and then some parts that are green right next to it. And we haven't even put the sun in. So sometimes if you put the light source in, it works better. But we're going to do the sun next, trust me. Oh yeah, the orange and the green. Oh my gosh. So whenever you put little dots together, that's typically understood as being pointillism. So you can put orange dots and you put them next to green dots, and it makes like for a really interesting texture. I might even make the dots look like grass. So you can put orange dots and green dots next to one another. You could actually maybe even add more dots, maybe like yellow. Should I put yellow in here? I might save the yellow for the I'm gonna save the yellow for the sun. So what this artist did in the card, in the greeting card, they just made the whole background yellow. So so that it's almost like if you look at the sun and you're like, you can't look at the sun because it's so bright, everything seems yellow. That's kind of what this is. What I did this morning is I actually drew a yellow circle. See if this shows up any better. So I drew a yellow circle, and that signifies the sun, S-U-N. And the cross signifies the Son, S-O-N, the Son of God. So I love merging. I mean, even though they're different words and different meaning, the Son is so powerful and so beautiful. And the sacrifice that Christ made for us is so powerful and so beautiful that they just seem to fit together nicely. I do want to get the other crosses in there kind of soon, but like, thinking about where we're going, we might be able, everybody makes suns differently. Like you can make lines that radiate out from there. We're going to get to it, but I'm just thinking about the top. We got to add those other crosses. I think the sun is going to be really fun. Like that could be a whole color exercise where it says he is risen. Like you could put those letters in there. If you could put the words in there if you want. Or we can I might just make like this awesome glowing sun, like morning sun. I might add pinks in there. But maybe this piece becomes a color exercise about the sun. Anyway. And of course, I'm thinking S-U-N, but maybe it becomes a color piece about both Jesus and the sun. Whoa. Okay. Here we go. So I started with brown for the first cross and then added orange. And I think I'm gonna switch it. I think I'm gonna start with the orange for my other crosses and then add the brown. I think that might work better. And they don't have to be perfectly symmetrical. Might be fun that I like the cross that's on the left side. That's the guy who wound up going to heaven. I like having that cross maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit closer to Jesus's cross versus the guy who did not repent, who's on the other side. Yeah, I mean, I could maybe just leave the orange, but because we're below looking up, I think I might add a little bit of shadow to the underside of the bottom of the cross there. That makes it look 3D, putting the shadow on the underside of the cross. Yeah, I like the 3D part. And of course, there's no, this is after. These are like symbols. There's no people on them, obviously. Raisin. I just used a dark purple for the shadow on the cloth. It kind of looks good too. I didn't even think about, I haven't even thought about shadows yet. One of the big difference that I did with my version this morning versus the professionals one is the crosses. I made the shadows go on the hill, because if the sun is behind it, the shadows are going to come towards you. Oh, it's so pretty. It is a powerful scene, actually. I'm going to do this little side to side. Sometimes when you draw shadows, you want to make them, not have crisp edges. So I'm just going to imagine the shadow of the cross coming towards us. So pretty, so beautiful, so powerful. And if you see the other cross, if the one cross has a vertical, then it's got to have a horizontal too. And I'm intentionally making it a little, little messy, so it looks like a shadow and it doesn't look like I don't want to say messy, but it's almost like reflections in a water. You ever seen done like, there's like a boat and the boat is crisp and then you do the reflection in the water and it's like squiggly. It's sort of like that. And then this whole mound is grass. So the top of the mound has more orange and yellow in it, but the bottom of the mound has more green. It's amazing how orange the top of the mound is, though. The grass, even though it's grass and grass is green, I guess sometimes the light can be so bright. The color of the light can be so bright that it makes something green look orange. Look how big this hill is. I love it. The shadow, because I made the shadow so big, the hill got big, but it's even better. So I'm trying to make the, you can imagine like the hill has, I'm using like the curve of the hill to show that to color it. I know it's green, but I also want the hill to look curved. So I'm almost how rainbows are curved. So you make marks that like run in the curve of the rainbow. Other objects can be curved. This hill is curved. So I'm making marks that, show the curvature. So even though it's not a rainbow, I'm still showing the curve like it's a rainbow. And the hill just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I love it. Okay, so I did mostly green, but I think I do want some orange in there. So all the little gaps, all the little spaces that are happening in there, I'm going to add little little marks for grass, yellow or orange grass rather. And the bottom of the hill, wow, look at that. I haven't ever colored this. I was only drawing it. But look at this, look at the green, the yellow green at the bottom of the hill. So I'm gonna put some yellow green down here. And hopefully it looks good. I love coloring. Uh-oh. Well, I didn't mean to say uh-oh, but should we do, I think because, yeah, I only did one layer. So I'm gonna do the cross, the shadow of the smaller cross. Yeah, make it look a little messy. Not messy, but I'm basically shading the hill. And there's the cross casts a shadow onto the hill. Gosh, this is like, I can't believe how pretty this is getting. So it's interesting. So we have 3 real crosses, and then we have the shadows of the crosses. And, I don't know how big they're supposed to be, but that looks good to me. All right. So this is kind of interesting. So in order to know what we want the sky to look like, we have to draw the frame. And if you look at if you look at the picture, there's steps leading into the tomb, then there's like the side of the tomb, and then there's the archway of the tomb. I had some other kids last time. You know how they talk about the stone when they remove it? I think when they said it was round, a lot of times I imagine the whole of the tomb being round. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to try something different. And you guys can, the way that it's set up is that you have steps along the bottom. Let me zoom up. So you have steps on the bottom, and I'm using orange. So you have like a little mini staircase. And then there's columns on the side, and then there's an arch. But what if we just made the tomb? What if we just made the tomb round? Like one big circle. Almost like a hobbit hole. You see that? I mean, you can add the columns if you want, but I'm imagining this stone being removed, a round stone being removed from a round hole. Cool. Hopefully you guys like that idea. So I'm just going to draw the rocks that are on the inside. And the rocks might be gray. I'm making the rocks kind of orangey because the artist made the rocks kind of orange too. Yeah, the stairs, there's some like yellow tops of the stairs, and then there's like orange for the side of the steps. You see it over here? Like the tops are lighter, and then the sides are darker. Then the tops of the step are light, and then the sides are dark. It's not that big of a deal, but there's just something about a staircase, because going down into the tomb, I like the staircase idea. So I'm going to do the yellow part of the stairs light, and then the shadow part dark. And maybe I'll make even the bottom of the hill can be lighter too. I haven't added any flowers yet. One of the girls in the last class, she basically did like the crosses like really simply, and then her hill, like the mound, was just covered in flowers. It was so beautiful. And what I love about that is that, this artist chose to emphasize certain things, and you guys can choose to emphasize certain things. You could emphasize the sun. It could be all about the sun, or it could be all about flowers, or it could be all about cross. I mean, there's just, when you make your own art, you can emphasize, you can like focus on whatever you want. There's the same picture, there's just the same elements of the picture, but you can focus on different things. What I liked about, the tomb is that once you put the door of the tomb in, then you know how big the sky is. There's no way to know how big the sky is until you add the door of the tomb. And maybe above the door, that's where you could write like he is risen. That's cool. Whoa, I like that. A lot of times I don't like to incorporate letters, words into my art, but sometimes it works. And I don't apologize, but some of this is going to be, just coloring, and as you color, you want to think about texture. How are you going to color grass in a way that's a little bit different than the way you color rocks? How are you going to color light from the sun will be a little bit different than the way you color, the shadow on the grass. So just because it has a color doesn't mean you color everything the same way. Ooh, let me mute it. Okay. So I'm just going to take my time here and color this in. And, I've only used orange, and it looks like some of the tomb can get, some of those rocks can get yellow. Some of the rocks can be brown down here. I'm using the orange as what you would call like a base, like a base color. That, there's orange everywhere as a base, but then I can mix different colors into it. So the steps I'll probably mix with brown, and then the tops I'll mix with a lighter orange, and then maybe even some like bright yellow. What if I use like this yellow up here to mix it in? That's cool. So yeah, like I said before, like I used to think colored pencils didn't mix very well. And the truth is, compared to paint, they actually don't mix very well. But if you just realize that you can mix 2 or 3 colors, they mix great. Like for 2 or 3 colors, they're like the best to mix. Oh, here's a slightly different color, slightly lighter orange. So I got yellow on this side, I got a light orange on this side. And I'm being a little aggressive, I'm just trying to get the frame kind of colored in, and I'm doing that so I can get into the sky. Like I can't wait to do the sun. I just want everything else to be colored in, so when I get to the sun, it looks really good. Got some sunlight on the steps. I got sunlight on the tomb. Maybe I'll do a little bit of brown. Ooh, I love some of the cracks in the stone. So I'm drawing shadows, yes, but I'm also drawing like rock texture. And hopefully people will be able to look at it and think, oh yeah, that's a rock. Sometimes they won't. And that's okay. There's some of the cracks in the steps. So that's what I was thinking. Also, I was contemplating, this tomb that they buried Christ in, and it's like, was it was it an old tomb that like kept getting closed and then opened and closed and opened, like that? So was it once like, look at the rocks and how they're crumbling a little bit. Like, was it a fancy tomb at one point, and then over time, like over hundreds of years, did it break down? Or was it like a new tomb, but it was just carved, it was just like, carved roughly into the side of a mountain? You know what I mean? Like maybe some of these rock, some of the sides of the stone just wasn't carved and polished. It was just kind of like, um, you know, just hacked away at. It wasn't supposed to be decorative. Anyway, it's an interesting thing to think about, because sometimes there's really fancy objects that like break down over time, and then other times there's not so fancy objects even when they're new. Architecture and even sculptures and things. So I didn't notice that until right now. We have this main hill, and then it looks like we have like a smaller hill off in the distance. Excuse me. So I'm going to put this smaller hill in there. And that's where I think I saw some of this red. But I'm kind of setting myself up for a lot of yellow, because this sky is bright yellow. I might even mix some light into it. Toby, you're done? Is that Toby? Let's see. Yeah. Let's see it. You finished the sky too? Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so the only thing I would recommend is maybe putting it inside of a rectangle. So if you imagine you were to cut it out and turn it into a card that you would send to somebody, draw the lines where you might cut it out. Orange, yellow. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna run down and see if I can grab this other, I might use this other pen. Hold on. All right. I was looking for my gel pens, and I found this one. I don't know what my other set of them are. See how like it matches, and it matches the purple cloth like exactly. So sometimes you can use different materials. You can use pens along with markers, and markers along with pens and pencils. And whenever you use multiple materials, it's called mixed media. And if you're using pens, you can go over the pens with the color pencil, but it's hard to do the pen on top of the color pencil. So that's why I got this first. All right. Do I need any white? I don't know. One of the actually Stacy this morning, I always think of the sun as lines that are radiating out from the center, but she did this thing where it was almost like ripples in a pond. Imagine you take a pebble and you drop it in still water and it makes rings, like rings that go out from the center. She was coloring the sun with like rings of color. That was like really pretty. So I'm gonna try to incorporate that because I did not use that in the other one. You know, there's like some rings that run this way, some yellow. So and the truth is that you can do both. You know, you can have lines that come out like rays of light, and then you can also have them, you know, curving like ripples in a pond. And, you know, however you do it, whatever you do to the left side, you want to kind of do it to the right side as well. All right. Here's some of the corona. So whenever you can see, you know, sometimes if you set, like astronomers, like they can set up special telescopes that block out the light, and then you can see like the immediate rays, or during an eclipse, you can see the rays of light. That looks fun. All these colors aren't really showing up that well on the Zoom, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to get all these light rays. It's like this, you know, this all like, oh my goodness, that looks great. All right, I think I can afford to do some darker colors now. When I say dark, I don't mean like real dark. I mean just like bolder red. Whoa, cool. So I'm trying to make this sun as glorified as possible, so it matches the inside of the card. Let me read the inside of the card again. Let's see. Every dawn tells of Jesus's resurrection, and every sunset proclaims his glory. So maybe this is more of a sunset. I feel like there's a lot more red tones when you do a sunset than a sunrise. I feel like sunrises are like pink and yellow. Ooh, maybe a pink is the color I need. I haven't chosen a pink yet. And I haven't put in any flowers yet either. That's interesting.
I put orange and yellow in my sunset.
Say it again.
I put orange and yellow on my sunset.
Oh, here's a bright pink. Oh my goodness. Yeah, here's a soft. I have a bright pink and I have a soft pink. Let's see which one looks good. So far, I basically only have orange and yellow, but I think I could. I guess there's a couple red notes in there. This is a like a neon orange. And if I put a ring around the yellow, maybe it'll stand out more. Oh my gosh, it looks like it looks like I made an eye. Oh my gosh, that's weird. I did not mean, well, the truth is that the human eye looks a lot like the sun in a sense, because you have your pupil, which is a circle, and then you have your iris, and all the muscles of your iris radiate out from the center. So your eyes do look a lot like the sun. All right, hold on, I'm gonna mute it so I can sharpen my pencil. Please hold. Okay, so I think I'm gonna add some pink in these mountains, because if you look over here in the picture itself, the mountains are a little bit pinker. I mean, that's where the warm is, where that's approaching red. So cool. I don't know. I just think I did not know that this was going to happen this way, but I like the buildup of the colors. They're just fun. And most of them are all in the same family. When I say family, I mean like usually all the colors can kind of be broken down into warm and cool. And then there's like little groupings. So there's gonna have some that so you have warm and cool, it's broken into half, but you can break them into thirds where you have red, yellow, and blue. So these colors are basically yellow and red. So it's basically yellows, reds, and then everything in between them, which is orange. So that's what I mean by the same family. Like they're red and yellow and combinations of basically orange and yellow. This is so cool. I don't know why I feel the name of this red is poppy seed or poppy red. And I think I might put some of those flowers, some poppies. Maybe I should look up what a poppy looks like before I do it. But I love the idea of a poppy, poppy field. People love poppies. I knew a guy who sat outside of a museum in Italy, and he just made paintings of poppies. And he made them all day, every day, and tourists would just buy them. And he made so much money just making these beautiful flower paintings. And the ones that sold the most were poppies. And I was like, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just sit in front of a museum and paint beautiful flowers. Sorry, I have to text one of my teachers. Okay, yeah, poppies, that's right. And that's the thing you have to realize, we have access to so many images. If you ever have any question about what something looks like, you just go to the computer and search for it, and you can hit HD, which means high definition, and you can get really good images. Sometimes you don't even need it, but poppy plants, poppy flowers. Okay, here's what they look like. So there's some that you look straight at it and they kind of look like they make you can they have a dark center. That's if you're looking at it. But then some of them you can see it like these, like it looks like you're seeing them from the side. So I can do they almost look like a bowl shape. So make a bowl. And once you've drawn 2 or 3 of the same flower, you can kind of get a feel for it. where you can just make it up after that. And they have these long stems, which are so pretty. Long stem. And they might have some grass. If you look at you look at our little picture down here, the artist gives us yellow flowers, but we can make whatever flowers we want. I'm gonna draw some, I'm using my grass green, which is perfect for this corner. Add some more flowers. Wow. Might do them all the way along the bottom, or maybe just a little bit on this side.
I'm done.
You finished? All right, it's 1:24. So guys and gals, maybe take 2 more minutes, and then I'll stop it and we can have a look at it. So if you're done, see if you can add, a couple more details. You can always add a couple more flowers or something. Anjali, did you start barking? Was that you?
It's the dog that we're babysitting.
Oh, nice. All right, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Grass green. I don't know if you guys, hopefully you all like your drawing. I'm like obsessed with it, mine. Add some grass, some greens. Oh, look at that puppy. What's his name or her name?
It's a boy, and his real name is Winston, but we call him Pip.
Oh, hello, Pip. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, he has risen indeed. Christ has risen. All right, I'm gonna stop it. Are you guys ready? You guys ready to show? Oh my gosh, William, I can't wait to see yours. Can you go first? Do you want to go first? Are you ready? All right, hold on. Let me stop it. And then I'll pin you. Pinned. All right, you're ready. It's so good. Oh my, it's wonderful. Yeah, your bricks are awesome too, or the stones or whatever. Those are awesome. The sun is great. All right, thank you so much. Well done, sir. Well done. Let's see, Lillian, are you ready? Oops, sorry, I replaced the pin and I didn't need to replace it because you're just the same. Yeah, I do. I like that round tomb. It works so nicely. Your flowers are gorgeous. Thank you so much. You guys are a great team. I feel like there's a lot of positivity on that end. All right, who wants to go first, Anjali or Toby? All right, Anjali, nice. Thank you for volunteering. All right. Yes, look how big that hill is. That I forgot it, but like the tall hills are really nice for this scene. Your flowers are gorgeous. The light is so nice. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Thank you for doing so well. And it's the perfect size for a card. So you can actually send that to, you should send it to your brother.
It is a card. You can open it.
Yeah. Yeah, someone's going to be really happy to get that. Look at those shadows and the dimension, Toby. So good. Look at that 3D. Don't forget the one on the left. You do the bottom on the other side. You missed one thing. Do you see it? On I think it's your left. It's like there's 2 bottoms. One gets shadow and the other gets shadow too. Perfect. Other than that, it's perfect. All right, does anybody have any questions? Was this like the best Easter lesson ever? I'm gonna put my screen share back up so you can see it one more time. Yeah, and the color schemes are kind of similar. I just made mine super wide. I'm into it. I am into it. Where's mine? Is this one darker? Can I add shadows to my lettering? Block letters. Maybe I'll just darken it a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was very good. Thanks for stepping up your game. These are whenever you do compositions like this, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So congratulations, y'all. I'm very proud of this art. All right, y'all. Have a great week. Happy Easter. I'll see you all next Monday.
Happy Easter too.
Okay.
Thank
you
you.
so much, y'all.
Bye.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.